Well,
Oh,
uh,
right, yeah. So let's get down to business.
yeah, unless
Before
you've got some
we,
cool news or something. But yeah, let's get back to glazed charcoal.
oh, yeah. Oh, the isn't the Abbey?
Yeah, glazed charcoal of abbeys, or Otsduxmaxmo.
That's not the fort. That's the universe.
Right,
Remember,
yes,
that's
that's
the
the
name that you're
world. In the
playing.
world of Otsduxmaxskotskvad, the fortress of Figodatsa.
The Astux Glasmo cinematic universe.
We return to
Um,
yes, Jesus, I hate the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We return to glazed charcoal, where everything is fine. Ah, man,
yeah.
it can't just be me. Like, freaking. I mean, I don't like superheroes in general. I guess there's nothing
No, I
particularly
know.
wrong with the Marvel ones.
I know your thing. And frankly, I think the complaints are valid. Hey, it's good that your camera is lingering over that river because we have a decision to make before we
Oh,
unpause.
I love decisions. Yes. What's
So
up?
the first real step toward building your fortress is to make it food self-sufficient.
Yes, I'd love
And
to do that sort of thing.
that involves farming. And there's a couple different ways you can do it. But for Dwarf Fortress, I would highly recommend you do farming the Dwarven way.
Which is in
And
caves underground with
in caves
mushrooms.
underground with mushrooms, yes. You can farm outside. In fact, due to a quirk of how the game works, you can just build buildings outside and then farm inside them. Like, because that counts as indoors but surface, and so you can still grow surface crops there. Like, basically, the key distinction with agriculture in Dwarf Fortress is whether a plant is subterranean or surface. Um, and surface plants will not grow in the cave layer or anything trying to emulate cave conditions, and vice versa, which is sensible.
So when I mouse over this ground here and see not mouse K over it and
Yeah,
see dense hair, grass and stuff,
yeah. But if you
that's
look
cosmetic.
down,
It doesn't have to be grass for you to grow things on it.
no, it doesn't. You don't need grass. You need some other things. But if you look down at the bottom of that, you'll see outside light above ground, and
Ah,
that's the key distinction. Anything that's outside, that's where you can build a farm plot there. The various stones and rocks lying around will block tiles from the farm, but as long as all of the plots, in fact, I can actually show you how. As long as all the plots connect. So if you press B for build,
build. Yep, I've forgotten half of how like almost everything we learned, but I remember a couple of things. B for build.
and then
Yes.
P for farm plot. Okay, now you see that green? That's basically a single square. Think of that as basically like a single little garden cube,
Right,
about a
but I
meter
shouldn't
by
actually place it.
You shouldn't actually place it, but if you did want to place it, if you used UM and K and H, our old friends, you could increase the size of the plot.
Wait, U and M and K and H are friends
Remember
now?
we,
Oh
yeah,
shit,
remember,
this thing. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
the 8712 numbers thing. It's
yeah,
one of the
exactly.
many different systems of controlling letters and numbers on the screen which the game has built into it, all contradictory.
Yeah, if you look at your keyboard, the UM and the K and the H almost kind of look like a lopsided, like D-pad. If you're just looking at the,
Yes, that's sort of true, although I do also have an actual D-pad and the arrow
yeah.
keys, both of which the game also uses.
I mean, in 2028, when this game is finally out of alpha, I'm sure that someone will make some sort of easier to control system, maybe involving a mind integrated chip or something.
I'm sure that the
But
diehards will refuse to use it.
I don't know, man. I'd be sorely tempted after
Ah, that's my
basically getting
trade
this down.
depot, isn't it? So I can't
Yeah,
place it on top of that.
which is another thing we need to discuss. So they can't build that because, as you can see, all the little rocks and stones and exposed stone was blocking the farm plots because you can't farm on rock. And that's the issue with underground farming. You can't farm on rock. And if you look at your cave floor or the floor of your tunnels, it's all rock.
Yeah, let's go
So
find those caves.
if we do dig underground, we have two options. We either build the farm in the place where there's already cave fungus growing on soil, or we make our own soil. And each of these has upsides and downsides. Um,
One downside I see is this whole place is so vertical and hard to navigate around that it could just be quite difficult to set up any kind of flat area.
yeah,
We
exactly.
could dig
Like
out. What we could do is ignore these caves and not use them for farming and dig out higher up ones.
you could dig out higher up ones. Another thing that you can also do, if you can't dig soil or you don't want to build, like if you don't have any soil, I think
Yeah.
we have some, is you can start messing with mechanisms and channeling and
Whoa.
building, canals for your water irrigation.
Soil canal.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you do is you can create soil by getting mud on a stone floor, and the way that you do that is by pouring lots of water from, say, that brook up there
So
into it.
these tiles here, are they or are they not soil? Because it doesn't say soil anywhere, it says floor fungus.
The fungus grows on soil. Basically, it won't grow on a stone layer. So basically, the fungus kind of supersedes the soil.
So is there a way to tell whether something's underneath it, or?
I mean, like, basically, if there's floor fungus there, then it's good for building a farm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easiest way to put it. You can also dig a dirt layer. I don't know if we have that, though, because we're right up on the mountains. And if we need to, we can always make some because you got that brook. Which, sooner or later, we're going to be messing around with water channels and mechanisms and floodgates. Just because you're going to want to set up a big underground reservoir full of water for when your fortress is inevitably under siege.
Oh dear.
And you can't have your dwarves just run up. Because the one thing I don't see in this cave layer that makes me kind of sad is I don't see any underground water, which also brings its own challenges. But for the most part... Wait, hold on. Go down a Z layer.
That looks like water.
Yeah, that blue on the left. Yeah, okay. That does look like water. So that's good.
A pile of mud.
Yeah. Mud is
Oh shit, there's 7 waters here. Wow.
That's the depth meter. So let me tell you about depth. Depth of 1 is like a puddle.
Mm-hmm.
Depth of 2 is like ankle high. Depth of 3 is like it's up to the dwarves' legs. After depth, I believe 4 or 5, they're swimming. And after that, they just can drown really easy. So water is the bane of dwarves, which is why both of these options are sort of dangerous. If we fuck with irrigation, you risk drowning your dwarves. If we dig and build your farm plot in a cave, we expose them to the cave ecosystem, which they are not the apex predator in, by any stretch of the imagination.
But they're a tool-using species, you know.
They are a tool-using species, that is correct.
Although they might not be very good at it.
Yeah, they are not very good at it. And they have a bunch of tags, like they're humanoids. And let me tell you some of the tags some of the motherfuckers down here have. Let's see. So Giant Cave Spider has no fear tag, no pain tag. Let's see. I think... What is it? Mulmarians, which are basically like if you took a giant mole and made that the back half of a centaur, and then took a mole person and made that the front half of a centaur. Those, yeah, I know. There's 6.
Oh shit! I found a mountain goat.
Yeah,
there are literally mountain goats here. That's cool.
This is a calm biome, so the animals out here should be relatively benign and okay to hunt, rather than brutally dangerous.
So those caves.
Yeah.
Oh god, I've lost everything. No, I can find it again. It looks like the cave floor area, the base of it with some fungus was down here. And so would this be a good place to construct a way down to here, tunnel further down, I guess, than I have already? And
well, it looks like one of your guys somehow magically found a way down, maybe climbed down that mushroom.
Oh my god, yeah, there's a dwarf here. What
Actually, I think he might be trapped, though, because it looks like... Do you see that down brown arrow and that down blue arrow?
Oh shit, yes, okay, I see the arrow.
So those 2 arrows, brown down arrow is I'm hungry or starving, and down blue arrow is I'm dehydrated or I'm dying of thirst. So press W to check his wounds. Yeah, he's just hungry. Okay, once they get to starving, they actually start like desperately looking for rats to eat.
Okay, really so we should try to save Chris here.
So it seems like that thing that we tried to build last time, which I've already forgotten the specifics of.
Oh yeah, okay, so I tried to build like a ramp, and I'm guessing it worked a little too well.
I think maybe it allowed him to get down, and then didn't work. So I feel like we might want to try something alternate. Okay,
and in fact I need to rescue this guy as well, so...
Yeah, because even if he survives after eating a rat, he's going to have bad feelings about it for a very long time.
Oh, shit, okay. Much like a Ventru or something, so...
Yeah, well, also, any kind of human,
So here we've got a staircase and a door, and then a little passageway leading to a ramp downward, which Chris probably fell off of.
And then probably couldn't get back up. So
Yeah,
here's
he would
my
have fallen all the way down the
recommendation.
mushroom.
We basically
Yeah, it makes sense. Look where he is.
Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. My thinking here is we basically forget whatever stupid shit we were trying to do with the mushroom, and then just stick to digging in the rocks.
Okay, we'll go downwards. So if I
Yeah.
if I do a look thing, so I've got a specific cursor. If I was to go like down, but I can't build directly down.
Right. So if you go up,
yeah.
and then we can just dig a staircase.
Oh, basically, so if I add a short corridor here to go further down safely down to, well, it's not safe.
But then that after, because right now it's open. So right there, like if we go up.
So I need to find a non-open.
Yeah.
Space, basically.
Basically, if you go up and then right, I think, as you go down, there's still like a column. Yeah.
Where
and you don't need
column?
So go back up to the layer with the getting a little dizzy. Okay.
Yeah.
If you dig up from here and then to the right.
Yeah. No, there's no column there.
Right, but no, on the right side of your screen, you see the
Oh, you mean a long way right?
Yeah, Just you basically just need to dig it down to the right until you hit a bit of rock that'll make it all the way down. You don't even need to make it. You don't even need to make it all the way down because, as you can see, that because it's very vertical, you can actually climb up to a level that's not that far. Actually, it's on this very Z level. If you dig it over to the right a little bit further, do you see those down triangles that represent the slopes down?
Yeah, I can see some below my cursor.
Yeah, I believe that platform actually is a way that he can just walk right up from there on that very same Z level. You see what I mean?
No, I don't see what you mean. Sorry. Okay, so starting here.
Okay, now we're basically visualizing this is really difficult. We're looking down at a slice of caverns.
Yep.
And if you could just like let your mind's eye work, these caverns are very high vertically, very narrow horizontally, and there are parts where slopes will go up near to the roof and then all the way down to the bottom that the dwarves can walk up. So do you see those triangles, the yellow and teal triangles down there that are pointed down?
Yeah.
That is a floor fungus covered slope leading down the Z layer.
Oh, it's a ramp. So if I go down a level here, I can see, that's where that ramp comes out.
Yep, exactly.
I see. So this area is where I've got the X now is on the current level.
Yep.
And then goes down the ramp to, goes down the ramp to this level.
Yep.
And then it actually goes further down. You could probably walk all the way down from there to the very base eventually, maybe.
Exactly. So what we're going to want to do there is build a corridor, and eventually you'll probably alternate between sealing this off to keep some critters out and just filling it with traps. But for now, just digging anything.
Looks like it will lead to.
Yeah.
Basically, this is the real way to get into the caves.
So what I would recommend doing is then destroying that door that you put there and putting in just a wall, and then putting that door in this new tunnel.
Yeah, so let's see, how do I destroy things?
T for building them.
Okay.
And then,
But I want to destroy this channel I've built as well, or can I not do that because it's like a ramp?
You just have to. You can undesignate the new channel that's to be dug that you can't actually reach because they dug the first channel out first, and there's no way for them to get to the. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So X is the thing that you use to destroy buildings.
Oh, right, not D. X, is it?
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
I don't see X on this menu.
No, I mean when you selected the building.
Oh, right. X. I don't see X. Oh, remove building there at the very bottom. Cool, got it.
Yep.
Slated for removal. Needs furniture hauling. And then basically I want to unpause for a while.
Yep.
And get dwarves to do some digging.
Yeah. And the guy who's starving to death in the cave is like, oh, I'll dig.
Yeah, and he'll dig his way back to the stairs and be able to get up and not starve to death. Fantastic.
Hopefully. Yeah, no, he's pretty good. Usually you're okay if they're at this point. But let's press Z to check on our food and water stores.
Okay.
Drinks. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Not
but
urgent, at least.
What you are going to want to do is we need to make sure that trade depot gets dug out and built before the fall happens, so that traders will arrive.
Is there some way of doing like shortcuts between Z levels or between positions on the map that I can jump to?
Basically, what I end up always doing is kind of selecting units that I
Hey,
know
look,
are in the area.
there's a
Yeah.
thing here.
Oh yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. I've never fucked around with hotkeys. Too scared.
But this sounds really cool. Why would you not hotkey? Um,
I'm
but
not actually good at this. I just kind of brute forced it after playing it for 8 years.
okay, so there we are. That takes me to my main gate. That
Oh,
takes me
okay.
down to the cave's entrance.
Oh, good. You figured out a thing I didn't know already, and we're on what? Like this is the second time
Oh
I
yeah,
sat down for this, so you know,
and I think
I
I
figure.
can name it too. So cave's entrance, cave's end.
Yeah, that
Cool.
makes sense, I guess. So basically, if you press U, I want to look at what your dwarf like labor are doing. So
Absolutely.
basically, the issue that we're having here, and this is something you face a lot in Dwarf Fortress, is that oh hey, I see that Jeb has become a craftsman, crafts dwarf.
God, that's better
You
than
can
being
see
just the expedition leader and sitting
he's an
around doing
expedition.
nothing. He just
Yeah,
thought he would freaking be able to lead the expedition because he
yeah.
raised so much money.
You can tell that his profession changed because blue is the color of crafts dwarfs. Each of the different professions have colors associated with it. So the problem that we're facing, this is one that's common to DF, is we need something done, but all of our guys are busy doing different jobs that they'd rather do. So in this instance, you have two options. One, you can find your guy who has the skill that we need. In this case, it's architecture, which is building design, and you disable all of his jobs except that one until he does it. Or you pick someone who isn't doing something and give him the job temporarily.
Right, but
Or
can I
permanently.
just ask? Are you sure that's the problem right now? Like, we haven't actually designated something that's not being done.
Yes, the trade depot that has not been built.
Oh, I didn't realize it hadn't been built. I thought it just looked like that.
No,
I
it's
see.
definitely not been built.
Right,
It's,
so I want to find someone here who could build a trade depot and get them to stop doing their other stuff
yeah.
or temporarily
You
make
can,
them.
yeah. You can, for example, take someone. I forget which person has the architecture skill in the first place. But if you find that who that is, you can basically just disable all the tasks. Or what you can do is wait for them to kind of naturally finish up the tasks you've queued up for them, and then they'll do it. But we want to have this set up before fall, because since you've got this is a little complicated how caravans work. Basically, if
No, I don't need to know about caravans yet.
Okay.
Just about how to build a trade depot.
okay, basically you want that depot as big as possible, as early as possible, so that you get wagons showing up.
Okay, I like those sorts of things. I noticed that Chris here is frantically eating now.
Yeah,
He's been let out of the caves.
yeah, he's been down there for a little while.
Fell down the giant mushroom. Okay, so
Yeah.
about this
You can-
temporary designation thing, I shouldn't
Yeah.
pick Chris for it. I should pick someone else, like I don't know, Carly. She doesn't do anything useful since losing a CEO job.
The only problem is that right now she's gathering a shit ton of plants,
Oh,
which will
right.
take a while. I feel like Kasich has nothing to do at the
Yeah,
moment because he has no
literally
job.
doing nothing.
And so if we select him,
Yeah,
Then,
I found him, I think.
if we-
Yeah, there he is.
yeah, if we can go to like the jobs, you know,
P for
P
professions.
and L for
L
labor,
for labor.
and then if we go to other jobs at the
For
bottom,
jobs. Like, do I need to use plus? Yeah, plus and minus this time. It's so there are just so
Yeah,
many
I know,
ways of
I
moving
know.
between menus and going up and down and
I know
stuff.
it's
Okay.
pretty interesting. And then enable architecture.
Right, so that's
Something-
not
yeah.
enabled by default.
Yeah, something that I end up doing with a lot of my guys that you probably will end up doing as you specialize is, like, right now your guys will all like haul furniture, right? Like for someone who's like a super specialized miner, a lot of the time I'll disable hauling, so their only job is to mine.
Hey, watch this! I'm
That-
following Cassage.
Yep, you can do that by pressing F. Right now I think he's just eating. Oh hey, migrants!
What? What does that?
Top left of your screen,
Oh
migrants
shit!
have
Some
arrived.
migrants have arrived. Yes, they have on the slopes, and I guess they're gonna skate
Yeah.
all the way down.
Yeah, if you zoom up the next Z level, when they start running in, you'll be able to get a view of them. So, hold on. They're basically running across the slope right now at an indeterminable... if you unpause it, they'll start kind of moving. Yeah, so he's moving diagonally.
I've actually
right.
lost track
He's
of
on-
the guy. Where?
Go up a Z level.
Can you see where it is on the screen? Right there-ish.
Yeah, he brought a pet dog, I think.
I still can't see him when I zoom
Go
back
up.
down to the current Z level.
Well, because he's up on the Z level above. Right here.
Oh, I see.
Think of
Oh,
him as remember, they're running across Z layers as they go.
God, this is confusing. Okay,
Yeah,
I
know.
see. So it's actually like a hilly slope, and he's like coming down the sides of it.
Yeah,
oh
exactly.
my goodness, that's weird.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Okay, so there's the migrant. So let's have a look at this guy. I guess I want. No, I don't want that. I want. There's a thing which is used for like view V. That's the one. Cool. Thank you.
You got a farmer.
Alath Oiled Fancies, who is a dabbling shield user, armor user, discipline, etc. Cook and dyer. Cool. And there's another guy
has
up
more
here.
skills. Oh, hey, this is interesting. A potter. That's okay.
Risen
I don't know if we have any
clay.
clay.
Okay. So I need to. No, miss. Okay.
There might be more. They're kind of. It's paused
More
right now.
immigrants might be coming. Yeah. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to work out how to like inspect this guy or whatever and Z for.
What do you want to see?
I want to see his like settings and customization and stuff. There we are.
Yeah.
So ZY for customized. Because I need to name them after prominent Republicans.
Of course.
So this will be, I guess,
Rinse Priebus.
Pajama.
Oh yeah.
And the other one can be
him.
Rinse Priebus. Good idea. Is it Rancid?
I think it's this way because it's. Yeah, I think that's right. I have no idea.
I guess someone's got to be called Rance.
I don't
guy.
respect the man enough to spell his name properly.
Yeah, I'd be quite willing to spell it properly if I was physically capable.
Wow,
of
you've
it.
got a lot of fucking migrants.
Yeah, holy crap! I'm gonna need more bedrooms.
Hold on, press Z.
Z.
Okay, you have a population of 17 from 7.
New
So right now
people arrived. I can't rename them all.
your population has actually. That's the exact number of Republican candidates.
Oh my god!
But
But I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, it's probably not worth the effort to name these red shirts.
And rename everything. Remember every single one.
The downside is that 5 of your newest arrivals are children, and they don't really do anything valuable.
Well, I bet they do one thing. Several things. I bet they eat. I bet they have to sleep and drink. Dwarven children need beer, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they do drink
so
beer.
So they consume resources.
Yep. And it'll be about 10, 20 years before they start being... Then before they become just a regular peasant with no skills whatsoever.
Wow. Why would anybody raise a child?
I don't know, man. It's fucked up.
Okay. Okay, so I've got 5 new productive citizens and 5 new mouths to feed. That's fine.
Yeah,
It's all good. Children are the hope of the future. And having more people with a range of totally random skills that they're not particularly good at can only help.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
so
true, actually.
Is there any like stuff I should immediately be thinking about doing before I'm pausing to like start integrating immigrants?
If you have a clear vision of the kind of labor your fortress can need, you can start selecting labor for them. Like, for example, since we just were talking about how no one is building this trade depot.
Yeah, although I think probably it's Cassage is now building it, I think. No, he's not. He's putting crap in a stockpile. Okay.
Right. See, what we were talking about is how later on, for miners and other professions, you'll disable that so they'll just do their profession instead of
makes sense.
fucking around. But
I really love the indirect control premise.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I always like it because it can get really frustrating. There are some really clever ways around it involving vampires and levers.
Vampires and levers. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry we all can't pronounce the keys.
No, I'm not correcting your pronunciation. I'm like questioning why levers are involved. You can say that.
Oh, okay. So vampire dwarves are immortal. Mm-hmm. And so as long as and they don't need to sleep in Dwarf Fortress. Because you're underground, a vampire is just going to do whatever. You don't got to worry about the sun.
This child's job is play make-believe.
Yeah, they do that.
Kib Catlan. That's cute.
Don't get too attached.
I'm going to get attached.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Where's Kib?
Anyway, just real briefly, because I know we got to move on quickly. Vampires never die, so if you get a dwarven vampire, you can just stick them in a room with a bunch of levers that control all the vital functions of your fort. That way, no monster can get in and kill him, and you basically seal him in.
I see.
And that way, you have someone who's always awake, and you give them no job other than to pull levers. And then, it's like that's your guy who's like at the command nexus, controlling, like, I don't know, the drawbridges, you know. or your systems of defenses.
Right, so that crucial individuals have nothing to do but be crucial. That's funny.
Exactly, because if you have like your fortresses rigged up to a lever and all of your guys are doing something, this is kind of the logical extension of the trade depot phenomenon, which
Yeah, it's
still
like
has.
I need someone to pull. So what do you do? Like designate the lever to be pulled.
Yeah, you designate it to be pulled, and then it's like, okay,
Oh shit! All
oh,
the dwarves just
control!
rushed
Holy
off
shit!
into that room.
Okay, actually, it's a giant cave toad. Pause. Hold on a second.
What is a giant cave toad? Oh shit! What is a giant cave toad?
It looks like it climbed up from the caves. This is why we build doorways, my friend. Anyway,
But there wasn't enough.
It's enraged.
At all enemies. Okay.
Hold on, press W at this sucker.
Right. Here's my question.
So, yeah.
How do you kill a giant cave toad?
Good question. I have some good news. One, it looks like they already kind of beat the shit out of it a little bit.
Right,
Let's
so that's
press
why
K.
everyone rushed the thing, because
Right.
fucking toad just climbed up into the
A
fortress.
giant, basically, and those can kill individual dwarves. Here's what I would see that red. I want to make sure that's not dwarf blood.
Okay,
Just so you know.
so I guess how do I find that out?
Escape and press K.
Escape and press K. K.
And do you see the big blood trail it left behind?
Oh, that's what you meant, as opposed to the red limbs. A spattering of giant cave toad blood.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
tons of
that's
giant
good.
cave toad blood.
Okay, basically, my thinking is they'll probably be able to handle this on themselves. The big problem we have is we have no army and no soldiers, and I don't know if you're ready for the arcane mystery of the military menu.
I don't think I am, but I just want to keep going. I'm just going to set up a door here so this doesn't just happen again, basically.
Right, yeah. And the problem is that some monsters can destroy doors, so to be perfect, to be truly safe, we'll want to actually seal this off. And seal off parts of the cave as we can in order to prevent this from getting in with walls. But basically, because we have no weapons, if the solution I would have is to draft everyone to the military and just order them to jump the frog.
Okay.
Right now, they won't really do that. They'll actually try to run away because dwarves are cowards. But it looks like the toad will kind of inadvertently corner them and get the shit beaten out of it, which is what has already happened a little bit. So I can expect we can probably get through this without too much injury.
That sounds good. I wonder if I can. Find out
is not
information
something-
about him. Here we are. A giant
this-
amphibian predator found underground. Wow. Well, the good news is his right rear foot is cut open. His right rear foot is bruised. His right front leg is cut open. His right front leg is bruised. His left rear leg is cut open. Left rear leg is bruised. Left rear foot is cut open. Left rear foot is bruised. Lower body's cut open, dented, torn open. Nose is mangled beyond recognition. He's bruised, and his heart is also bruised.
Yeah, if you think
this toad's treatment at the hand of the dwarves has led to heart bruise.
Yeah, that happens. If you think that's a trip, wait until you see like undead monsters when they attack, because they're naturally decomposing. So their wound menu looks all stupid because it's like okay, like for example, in a terrifying biome when some animals will like animate after they're dead, I'll have a mussel shell from a mussel that my fisher dwarf fished come back to life, and it'll just be the shell.
Just an undead shell.
Just an undead shell trying to slice your guys' throats. No, really.
It's just hoping someone will pick it up.
Dude, you think it's minor, but that shit can fuck you up.
Surely a shell can't do very much.
Okay, I've had a butcher workshop. They butcher an animal, and the skin comes alive and just fucking rips them apart limb from limb. Okay?
Oh,
like, Jesus. Yeah, anyway, this is no problem. It actually looks like he's trying to make a break for it.
Yeah, so the toad is running for the outside, and he's actually healing up, and no one's attacking him. Is that okay? Let this toad out into the world?
As long as he doesn't fuck with them, I say let him go.
Alright, what's this R and question mark over there? Oh, it's a
That's a reindeer.
Reindeer. One of the immigrants must have brought it.
Yeah, they brought a bunch of pets. You can view it, I think, by pressing Z and going to animals.
Animals, yes. Am I not in animals?
Yeah, you gotta press enter on that sucker.
Oh, obviously. Alright, so, yeah, as well as my horse and camel, which I already have, they brought a puppy and a reindeer. Cool,
that's nice.
I guess. And the puppy is Frolf's pet.
Yeah, that's cute. You might want to put the reindeer cow in that pasture.
Yeah, how do you move someone to a pasture? I've forgotten, we did this once before.
Well, what you do is you press I to go to access the zone menu. and then you go over to the zone. And then, since we set it as a pasture with N, you can set who's in it by pressing Shift N, capital N. It's right there.
Oh, I see. Yes, I see. There it is.
And then you can just...
the puppy should not go in a pasture.
Yeah, because the puppy's not a grazer. So grass... By the way, you can also make pastures like that on cave fungus, which is really critical on maps with no grass.
Cool.
And reindeer can eat fungus. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, and I see, and a dwarf just went over and hauled it in. It runs past the toad. I wonder if
I think the toad might be trapped because pets can't go through the door. So let's
also, it's not a pet.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. It's like an animal.
Yeah, so I'm going to use T for building stuff.
I think it's Q.
Oh,
I don't know. I honestly don't know why there's a difference.
Set building tasks. T is items in buildings. It claims here.
Yeah,
I think. I find it hard to keep track of where the items are in that menu. View items and buildings, and Q is building tasks. Okay, so I want to make pet passable.
And I think it might be able to get out then, if you unpause
Let's find out. Yeah, it's not a pet, but it just kind of walked out.
Let's just lock him out and be like, look, bygones are bygones. We beat the shit out of you. You ran through
Yeah, I mean, we bruised his heart. That's good enough.
And now all 5 of the children are playing make-believe if those icons
Wait, what if the giant cave toad eats my reindeer?
Honestly, he's pretty fucked up. He probably just wants to get out of here.
Yeah, it's just... Now he's an outdoor toad, I guess.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck it.
Just slowly hopping away.
Sadly limping, just... Jeez.
So the door's being built down here, which is good news.
Yeah.
Wait, my other door is gone, though.
We want to build a wall there.
Yeah, but like I'm worried about the fact that something else might have got in because like there was a door there and it's just.
We destroyed the door. I believe you did. I don't remember. You told me to keep talking while you managed it.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, so building a wall. Is this in the building menu also?
Yeah. Remember constructions? Shift C.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Constructions. Wall grate. Is that what you're talking about?
No, there should be a construction, like, sub-menu.
Yeah, there's a sub-menu.
Yeah, there you go. And you can just build that wherever.
Okay, so we'll build a wall out of slate, even though that doesn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah, it's a type of rock.
Okay, so we now have caves access, and only one route into the caves.
Yeah,
and
that's about that you're going to want to put a bunch of like traps in and probably seal off from the rest of the caves once you can because stuff like that'll happen. That was really benign. Could have been a giant cave spider, in which case we'd already be talking about your second fort.
Yeah, toads are not actually carnivorous, I think, so.
Oh, they eat bugs. I mean, a giant cave toad would probably happily eat a dwarf kid if it could, but
Why is this dog question marking? Like, why?
Because he's trying to path in, but we made it so pets can't go through that door.
Okay, let's for the moment make these doors
that's fair.
passable because like we don't want to lock the dog out. And I haven't built a pet door or anything.
Yeah. Now let's.
Cool.
I see that one of your guys is bringing a turtle back to the food storage.
Yeah.
See that?
Yep, there is this green thing.
Let's check to make sure that the fishery workshop is still cleaning fish.
Yeah,
one
it
of the
did stop once before.
Yeah, it stopped when you run out.
Fishery.
So,
okay. So I need to add a task, process a raw fish.
Yep. And then repeat that.
Yep.
Yep. And then it'll repeat it till it runs out, and you occasionally redesignate it. Sometimes they do it on their own. But the neat thing about turtles is they actually have a valuable byproduct, which is shells.
Nice. And dwarves do have a number of like high-level desires, don't they? So some of them will try to do things like go and run workshops and produce specific goods because they want a thing.
Yep, and some guys just hoard turtles because they like turtles.
I see. I don't think the reason Little Marco is catching turtle after turtle is that he likes turtles. He only knows how to fish.
Occasionally you get a nobleman whose demand is like, I want like 10 pairs of turtle shell gauntlets. Nice. And it's just like he loves turtles.
Now, prepare raw fish has just been cancelled.
Right, I guess that one wasn't in the menu and we don't have any others yet, so let's not worry about it.
So turtle processing is different from fish processing?
No, it's the same, it's just, hold on just a second.
Yeah.
Can you press V and mouse over that large capital T right next to your food stockpile?
Large capital T. Here's my food stockpile. Which direction is it from the stockpile?
Left.
Oh, okay, right. It's wait, what? Oh, fuck! It's
Okay.
a troll.
Okay,
What are
so
the implications of this?
Here's the good news about trolls in recent versions of the game.
Yes.
Their AI is really... I don't understand it. These days, mostly what they do is just stand around knocking over doors when you try to build them instead of, like, attacking you. I don't know why. They used to be really dangerous, but again, you know, we got pretty lucky.
She is thin but has incredible muscles.
Remember, this is all relative to a troll.
Yeah.
So when it says it's thin, it means like
For a troll, yeah.
it weighs like 800 pounds instead of 1,000. So, you know, or kilograms or whatever was bizarre future system you use. So yeah, I don't know what it's
use kilograms, yes.
It probably might be just eating from your food stockpile.
I
But
don't
like,
want it to do that either.
right, well, I don't think we're in a position to challenge a troll on that. If you attacked him right now, we don't have any guys who can fight, and a bunch of unarmed dwarves trying to wrestle him would be a very bad idea.
So there's just a troll living in my fortress now.
I mean, he could flip out at any moment and just rip all your dwarves apart. That does happen sometimes. For the most part, they just stand... I don't know what it is. I think he's probably demolishing that door to your carpentry workshop. Because trolls are building destroyers. They love doing that. Actually, that might be what happened to that door down there when the troll climbed up. The good news is that, again, right now in this version, due to their AI being something I don't know, that's mostly just what they do. I have a couple ideas that are a little weird, but it doesn't seem to be an immediate threat. Do you want to take care of that right now?
Well, I guess we don't have to. We could just have a troll just hang out there. If it's not going to be a problem.
All right, yeah, there we go.
He smashed a workshop. Carpenter's workshop toppled by troll. Okay, now I want to take care of him.
Yeah, they do that. All right, so my recommendation would be to build a workshop a little ways away from him so we can actually get this done.
Okay.
And what we're going to want to do is build a new carpenter workshop, probably outside.
Outside because the troll won't go outside?
No, he'll go outside, but right now he's busily destroying the things closest to him.
Right. Okay, so I want a carpenter workshop temporarily out here.
Yeah. And a mechanic workshop.
Right. So I kind of... It's hard to tell where my pasture and trade depot are. I can see them, kind of.
Yeah, no one's built those yet.
Well, I hope these other ones get built faster. Okay, so... W for workshops. Carpenters... I could just build them at the end of the passage here and like hope he doesn't get to those
but that's going to be where we probably end up setting our trap.
Okay, so... Workshops out here... Whoop.
And we're going to destroy these when we're done anyway.
Yeah, it's just... I'm just like... going, I want things to be neat and perfect, but they can't be. Not in a world that has random trolls wandering around it.
You can... That's the joy of Dwarf Fortress, is brute forcing the world to be neat and pretty once you've gotten on your feet. So
I'm going to build a carpenter's workshop out of oak logs there and a mechanic's workshop, T.
We're going to set up some cage traps.
Aha. I'll build this one out of chalk, obviously.
And remember, he's attracted to doors to destroy them. So, worst case scenario, what you do is build just a door in the middle of nowhere and surround it with cage traps.
I see. Now, Hrolf and Vabok here are farmers, or they think they're farmers, and they're not willing to do architecture. Like, should I be turning on architecture for more people so these things actually get built?
You might want to put architecture on your miner. Casing.
Miner. Which... Okay, so he's already got it.
Yeah.
He's just not doing it.
Oh, he has no job?
Yeah,
let's hold on a second. Let's mouse over the depot and see what's the hold up then.
Alright.
It might be masonry now.
Needs masonry, yeah.
Okay. So basically, go to your mason's workshop and cancel all his stupid tasks for now.
Oh, right. So we've only got one mason. And that mason is building an unlimited number of tables rooms, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so C.
You can press C. You can also do S just to suspend, but it's not a challenge to set
the mechanics workshop will also the carpenter's workshop will need carpentry, and the mechanics workshop will need mechanics.
And remember, we
Okay.
have a couple people with those tasks, but you might want to designate more people because we're getting more population, so you're going to want to specialize your dwarves.
Yes. So let's see then. I don't need a lot of farmers right now, so I might make Hrolf into a
No.
mechanic.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I want this is V for view unit.
Then remember, you want to go.
No, that's not what I wanted at all. Get me going, and I won't stop for anything. Okay,
Yeah,
don't care about
like,
that stuff right now.
I think you go to V for view unit, then P, and then L for labor.
Right. So what I'm going to do is turn off. Well, what was his skills? Whoops. I've lost the guy. I guess there's no real fast way to jump to someone unless you happen to have memorized what they look like.
There's no fast thing to do in Dwarf Fortress.
There's no fast way to do things. Okay. So G for Gen, his current skills are absolutely nothing.
Let's see what his labor
actually he's
looks
a
like.
killer. This guy. This should be a soldier.
I mean, he's dabbling, which is literally the lowest. You can't even buy dabbling.
Oh, so it's below novice. Okay, so it doesn't matter that he's got those. I mean, this guy clearly wants to be a soldier, but he has no actual experience in it at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Soldier. You have any? They go through those like copy paper.
Okay, copy paper. Wait, what is copy paper?
You use it for copying, and you run out of it really fast.
Isn't that just paper?
Yeah, but it's not lined paper. You know, it's copy paper. You have lined paper, for writing in a notebook. Come on, man.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, I would usually call that note paper, but yeah, lined paper, note paper. That I recognize, but are you talking about blank? You're talking about like blank pieces of A4 paper, right? Or
that you use in a copy paper.
Wow, I've never heard that called copy paper before. We just call it paper because it's not lined, it's just blank.
Gotcha. So let's see what his farming jobs are, because it says he's a farmer might not be a useful.
Oh yeah,
farmer.
it's just. So what I was going to do was I'm going to turn off that stuff.
Yeah.
And find the crafts. Turn on. Oh, that's not right. I don't want craft still, do I? Just for back.
No, you want other jobs for architecture.
Oh, perfect.
At the moment, you're probably going to want to give him more than architecture because there's not a huge amount of architecture.
Mechanics that I need to turn on.
Oh, mechanics, right? Yeah, that's engineering.
I will put on architecture as well.
Yeah, you might as well. Engineering.
Engineering? I see. Okay, I'll turn it all on because there's no call for the others to be done at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Hrolf is now a mechanic, or aspirationally.
Right. He might still be trying to put stuff in.
God, this troll is just hanging out and destroying my doors and workshops.
Yeah, hopefully they get on that. Because without workshops, you're going to run into problems.
Yeah. So, mechanics.
Okay, so that blue means that someone's doing it.
Right, as opposed to where the trade depot earlier was construction and still is, in fact, construction inactive, so it's not even happening at all.
Well, with his mason workshop, I'm sure on the destruction list, he probably won't have much to do soon.
The workshop is not active. I guess there's just no one who wants to do
he's probably
masonry
just
right now.
drinking right now or something.
Yeah. In fact, Rand Paul is asleep. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that happens. We're also going to want more beds. Probably, actually, we're going to start want to build rooms at some point. But let's not do that until after you're actually food self-sufficient. Because basically, we're still on the clock, officially. We're ticking down until we run out of food. And
at some point, if I just left things forever, well, a troll might eat everyone, but even if he didn't, everyone would eventually starve to death. Yeah, oh, wait, there's a dwarf here who's got, looks like red for a second. Is that bad? Oh, it's a child. A child does it. The child fairness does as it pleases. Okay.
Yeah.
This is one who was playing make-believe earlier. So
that reminds me, there's some other quirky behavior by animals. Like, for the most part, by some animals, you basically treat dwarven children like animals because, whatever. You rarely do they live long enough to actually be useful.
Oh my god, this adorable animal can't work. Wow.
Yeah. Also, they added gelding as a skill recently.
Ready for gelding.
Yeah, so,
okay. I see you cannot name animals.
They just call them geldables in the game, but they are a separate item.
Right in the geldables, okay.
Yeah, so they're building the trade depot, which is nice.
Yes, excellent, I think.
But, what was I thinking? So we built the carpenter workshop and the mechanics workshop. So what I recommend is pumping out 5 mechanisms and 5 cages.
All right, mechanisms.
And this is the bread and butter of more complicated stuff. If
I think
someone
you
has
use
made,
rock mechanisms to make a cage.
yeah, you make them the trigger for the trap, and the
Jason,
cage is a carpenter thing, which is J. Yeah.
Right,
And
mechanisms and cages.
basically, whenever you hear about someone building a computer in Dwarf Fortress, mechanisms are involved.
Okay.
They're like the Redstone of this game. Although, technically, they predate Redstone, so Redstone are the mechanisms of Minecraft, I guess.
So a mechanism is just something which just does something.
Yeah.
I do like Redstone, but it wasn't... I liked making stuff out of it in Minecraft, but it was... I don't know, I don't want to like make computers in Minecraft or whatever. It seemed less fun than integrating with the actual stuff, main stuff you do.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you want to make wacky shit with mechanisms in Redstone, Dwarf Fortress has some options.
Yes.
You just have to watch out because...
Wow, look at this valley full of flowers. So
do you see that it's raining?
Yes, yeah, little drops are appearing.
Yeah, it's
cool.
really weird how once you get a feel for it, it's actually really immersive, despite, you know...
Despite not being even slightly immersive, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't really compelling. So... Yeah, basically that troll's just standing there. What we're going to want to do is build a trap somewhat near him and kind of just herd him over to it. And working on that might be a little difficult.
Oh shit, I was going to build a bed and then I realized the troll broke my stuff.
We built a new carpenter workshop outside, so you can still make some
Why is it rock stockpile now?
They're just picking up rocks from the ground because the idea of having a rock stockpile in a game where you're just covered in rocks from digging, not the most economical of choices considering how heavy stone is and how long it takes to move around.
But there was no stockpile there originally. The troll has somehow created one.
No, there was no stock. That's not a stockpile. That's just barrels lying on the ground.
Okay, let me just mouse over it here. It says, oh, they are barrels. Yes, I see.
And they're not on a stockpile. They're just lying on the ground.
Oh, the carpenter had been making barrels. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Understood. So basically,
the workshop was full of barrels. The troll smashed it, and the barrels all fell out.
Yeah, you got it.
Cool.
And they count as furniture when there's nothing in them.
Yeah, actually, it's extremely uncool. Fuck you, troll.
Yeah, exactly. Right. In order to move stuff like stone adequately to make like actual stockpiles, you're going to want to build wheelbarrows later. Because trust me, you've not hated yourself until you see a dwarf try to move a piece of like, I don't know, stone from one end of the corner, one side of the map to the other. It takes like 2 hours, and just hate yourself. A wheelbarrow makes him move as fast as if he's just walking.
Okay.
So, we're going to want to handle that later.
Hauling stone takes a long time.
Yeah, it's especially like some of the really heavy stones. God, it's horrific. Although, if you want to make a dwarven shotgun, there's your ammo. Because remember, heaviness is directly linked to the amount of damage it does. But that's another complicated thing. Involving minecarts, which are also a thing.
So more mass means you get hit with it. It hurts more, I guess.
Yeah, the classic dwarven shotgun is you basically have one tunnel entrance into your base with like a minecart track going down it, and then you load a minecart up with, I don't know, lead bars and send it rolling down this track, and then when enemies are coming in, they
push the cart slowly and it rolls down towards them, gathering momentum.
Yeah, and it basically, when it hits them, it counts as a collision. And so they take the impact damage from the minecart, and then the lead bars fly out. And because they're very dense, the dwarven shotgun. People have done really creative stuff where, like, they make it dip into magma for a second, so it comes up on fire.
That is some excellent physics.
Dwarf Fortress has its moments. Unfortunately, right now, we won't be able to get to those moments if that troll just keeps knocking over all your shit. So what we're going to want to do, once those mechanisms and cages are done, is set up some cage traps near him, and then a door on the other side relative to him, so that he will run toward the door to smash it, and then fall into a cage trap. And then, I don't know, you can...
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then you can actually set up the cage trap in a hallway, and it counts as like a zoo.
A zoo.
Yeah,
Oh
the cage
shit!
with
You'll be able to
troll
move the trap with the troll still inside it.
Yeah, well, basically you disassemble the trap, and the cage with the troll in it still exists.
Does he
And
become
so,
like an entertainment object?
yeah, you can do that.
That's
You
awesome.
can't. If he were an animal that was butcherable, you could eat it. Dwarves don't eat humanoids, though, and trolls are humanoids. However, stupid and churlish.
And beer obsessed.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about the troll.
Oh, I see.
So hold on just a second.
Okay, so the cages are done and the mechanisms are on the way. Shouldn't be too much longer, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
that's
actually build it now. I think. Don't build it like super duper close, because he'll just knock it over when you try building it.
I see. So this troll is currently hanging out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the best place to try and kind of bait him? He's already standing next to a door.
I'd say remove the doors and all the workshops there. You can rebuild them later. And then at the very far left end of the hallway, inside that workshop, you build like a door. And then you put a cage in the one tile entrance.
Why did he just first destroy all the workshops?
Yeah, but you want to destroy all the workshops so that, like, because right now it's taking him forever, right? You want him to.
Oh, I see. So I'm going to blow up all my own workshops. Oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and see, this is why I also recommend when we're done, we're going to want to seal off parts of that that cave system, because while we're solving this, I'm sure there's a pack of fucking grundles building up.
let's have a look, shall we? There's
or a cavernous cave, or what is it? Voracious cave crawler. Those are bad.
There's not a lot of things hanging around down here.
Yeah, but it only takes one.
It's true. Oh man, this
that'll
verticality is
show
so
us-
confusing. But yeah, you can go down from there into that area. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I should really designate some underground areas for gathering stuff, shouldn't I? Like,
Yeah.
this has got, what's all moss and stuff. Can you gather plants on that?
Well, move your cursor up one. Oh, I mean, you got down one. I was trying to make a rhetorical point, not Z layers.
Dimple cups.
Yeah, so that's dimple dye. You use that to make dye. It's a mushroom that's blue, and it makes a nice blue dye that your dwarves like. It's a plant.
Okay, so I'm going to designate.
Remember, you want to designate it up and down Z layers because of the verticality. If you just do one Z layer,
I see.
But do you see those purple colons? Down a layer. To your right, purple colons in the very
yes, I
narrow.
do. Yep, purple column. There it is.
Slump helmets.
Cool.
Those are your bread and butter.
Yep.
Which again is why we need to get agriculture going pretty soon, and not just
Okay, so I'll designate some. How much of the cave system I wonder is like safe to gather in? Probably.
Well, there's only one way to explore the cave system, and that's to have your dwarves go there.
Okay, what I'm going to do then is
There's other ways too, but you remember we talked about this where you just drop a goat in.
Yes. Yes.
But frankly, I want to see what that water is like over there.
Yeah.
So we might as well send some dudes in there to kind of scope it out.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is
can
designate
honestly
from
just
here.
Just designate that whole slice. Now you're getting it.
Is that
Broad
really
strokes.
designated though? Like I didn't know if I.
Here, let's go down to that layer and
I can't see it being
to the
designated.
cave layer. So down. The plants will be brown, the color of mine digging out.
Oh right, yes. Yep, that
Yep.
looks pretty designated.
It's designated.
Okay, so the dwarves are going to explore this whole damn cave system looking for plants.
Yeah, you might want to designate a couple more people with plant gathering so that they're not at it all day.
That's a good idea. So yeah, there's one primary gatherer right now. Well, there was. I'm not sure who's doing it at the
Carly
moment.
Fiorina. Remember, she became a herbalist.
Carly. Oh yes, herbalist. Yep. So let's say that one of the new arrivals, I guess, Vabok.
Yeah.
Although there's this fish cleaner who isn't really. Well, he's doing useful stuff. But I don't need a fishery worker and a fish cleaner and a fisher, right?
Yeah, that's a little bit of too many cooks.
A bit of overfishing. So I want to make one of them into a herbalist. Well, that way this guy's constructing mechanisms. So I'll take Ast Zoltaran.
Yeah. Now you're getting it.
Okay, so I want to... Sorry, it's really hard to keep all this in my head at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Go
I
to
totally-
unit.
Basically, I never even bothered
rename him
learning
to
their
something
names.
funny.
John Boehner?
Oh, yes. I want to go to his labor section.
Wait a minute. So we've got a bunch of high-up Republican officials and fairness. What aren't you telling me about our friend Yuri Kavalerchik?
No, he's one of the children.
Oh, okay.
Fairness isn't a dwarf worker. He's a child. That's the guy who was doing make-believe play.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah. I'm still not... Yeah, okay, but... Yeah, alright.
So... Let's see.
I was just saying, it kind of implies that, like, Fairness is a member of the RNC.
Yeah, it's probably not literally one of those. I should really be naming something Vox P. Vox T. He's the actual registered Republican. Rolf asked me to make him a Republican dwarf for obvious reasons.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, farming related is what contains gathering.
But you don't want to just do the category.
I don't.
You want to be specific.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because then if you do this, then it'll be doing everything: tanning, farming.
Yeah, but right now this guy can only gather plants.
Yeah.
That seems bad. What if I make him able to mine as well?
Well, then he'll just do mining, and remember, you only have 7 picks anyway.
That's true. Wait,
trust me, it's good to specialize. Remember.
Yeah, but in just gathering plants.
For the moment, yeah, you can also activate farming fields because that'll be growing later. Mm-hmm. Do not set him to hunt because then if you don't have a crossbow and ammo, he'll run out and try to punch a goat.
Okay, that makes sense that would be bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So later, he'll be one of our farmers.
Yeah, we've got Boner going and gathering. Did you say Boehner? Is that really how you say his name, John Boehner?
You say it Boehner. I mean,
nice.
If you want to call him Boner, I'm not going to stop you. Yeah. Most people I know call him that.
So how do I turn these cages plus mechanisms into traps?
B for build?
And you put it in a specific spot? So I need to have a setup to get the troll to go there, so I better tear down all my workshops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Q for... Nah.
But your guy's been making a lot of rock crafts, which is good.
Yeah, unfortunately he's not going to have a workshop to do it with as of now.
It's okay. Honestly, it's kind of good that we're already destroying these, because that'll encourage us to kind of build them down anyway. This whole layer is going to probably end up getting abandoned at some point.
Or at least turned into, meeting halls and open space and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, those 3x3s might make good bedrooms. Just saying. Yep.
Okay, so those workshops are now slated for removal.
You also want to take out the mason workshop. I didn't see if you did that.
Looks... Oh, I didn't. You're right. Slated for removal.
So
the troll has finally broken the door, I see.
Yep.
And then what I'll do is I'll pick one of these workshops, put a trap in the doorway and a door beyond the doorway, right?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Okay, so we'll build... Cage? Is that J or animal trap M?
You're actually... A cage is placing a cage, and an animal trap is a specific thing for small animals. You want traps / levers, which is another shift button. Shift T in this case.
Okay, cool. Cage trap.
And this is kind of the menu that most of the really big time, I guess, Dwarf Fortress players consider to be kind of cheating, because cages are just perfect. They're amazing, especially with some of the later weapons you can build, like serrated discs and giant spiked balls.
It's like the cheesing of dwarf. It's like dwarf cheese. It's cheese,
it's dwarf cheese. Although
doors need adjacent walls. Okay, so I gotta build the door in there.
Yeah, and hopefully, because did you put it in the one tile, or did you put it below where the door would go?
I haven't put the trap in at all yet.
Okay.
Gotcha. So here's the door, and I was going to put the trap in the doorway. Is the right place for it or not?
Yeah, because then it'll just go in the one place. He can't avoid walking to it.
That's the idea. I just hope a dwarf doesn't fall into the cage trap.
They don't. There actually is a very specific set of circumstances. But I don't think you need to worry about it. At the same time,
so I've got the door built, and now for the cage trap. The troll smashed the door. That's good.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of turtle shells. It hasn't been loaded yet. It's dark green, which means it's an unloaded trap.
One turtle shell. Oh, that's a lot of turtle shells.
Those are actually valuable. You can turn them into armor, actually, and which is one of the few non-metal armors. It's crappy, but it's better than nothing, especially if you're facing a giant monster.
You mentioned earlier wanting to have a big trade depot. Should I be somehow expanding the existing one?
Oh, it's complicated. Not a big trade depot. This is the wagon shit. Basically, if the traders don't have the ability to bring large vehicles, wagons, to your trade depot, they'll bring a much smaller party that has a lot less stuff. And on the surface like this, with a lot of flat space for the wagons to go, then once the trade depot is built, the wagons will show up and there'll be a lot of stuff they bring. If you don't build the depot, the merchants will still show up, but it'll count as if it wasn't accessible, and so they'll bring a lot less the first time.
Ah, okay. Well, that would be rude of them, but reasonable, I think, given that probably most of the fortresses they turn up to at this point just don't have anyone in them.
Yeah.
I think people doing nothing make me want to designate a bunch of areas for mining.
Yeah, that's smart. And we want to make sure that the trap is now loaded. The thing that's got me concerned is that the troll's just standing there. Actually, I have a really silly idea. Try building a trap under him.
That is a silly idea. Okay. If this works, I will be surprised and pleased.
Honestly, it sucks that it's got a weird AI bug, but, compared to what he could be doing...
Yeah, I'm far prefer to have a troll slowly wandering up to each workshop and then destroying it in turn, compared to a troll breaking everything everywhere. Well, there's a trap under him now. I'm not sure if it caught him in it or
Remember, it's not loaded yet. The guy's bringing the cage. Loading.
This is crazy.
He's not good at mechanics.
Exclamation.
And he caught the... you didn't even see it turn bright green because the cage trap immediately activated.
The troll fell into the fucking... He just stood there waiting for a workshop to destroy until I built a trap underneath him, at which point he fell in.
So now you can rebuild them if you'd like.
I might use those as bedrooms, as suggest, and build some bits in other underground workshops.
Yeah, closer to the cave layer. That's where most of the action's going to take place. It's kind of the cutting. What?
Why close to the cave layer?
Because that's where all the cool shit is. That's where your farms are going to be. That's where your water source is your underground water source is going to be. That's probably where you're going to end up building your HQ. That's what I do anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to start. So here's like the top of the cave layer.
Yeah, you see that big, almost semicircular column up a Z layer, or down a Z layer, I guess. Sorry, okay. Down one more.
Yep.
See this big old kind of semicircular space? I would honestly kind of hollow that out and make that into like an amphitheater meeting room kind of area.
Ah. Yeah, that could be like a big old dwarf cave within a cave thing.
Yeah.
But thinking of places to put workshops.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this central column is actually pretty good. I mean, eventually you can't... I have to be careful about digging too far down because a lot of it is ceiling, in fact. So that's what worries me. Like if I dug out there, I would just fall.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to channel there, but if you dug just this layer, you'd be fine.
Wait, so that doesn't open a hole in the ground, digging a layer?
No, there's a eggshell thin floor layer.
Oh, I see. So that's actually fairly safe then. That's good.
Yeah, it's safe. There used to be way back when, if you dug anything greater than 7 by 7, it would collapse. That is no longer the case with multiple Z layers.
That's good.
Now it's really confusing.
So yeah, this region, centrally area, I kind of want to take the level above the caves as where I'll have lots of dwarf stuff eventually.
Yep.
Exactly. But for now, yeah, I'm not sure how I want to do it. Got any aesthetic ideas?
The way I tend to build my forts these days is, after playing for a while, the squares that you naturally kind of get on your own no longer appeal to me. I build them more like hives, with irregular oval-shaped chambers, with long tunnels leading around. Very, very Chairman Yang kind of experience.
Nice, almost more NetHack than Angband.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to recreate, like... because like in fantasy, when you see dwarves, their aesthetic is always very square and monolithic.
I think I'm happy to do squares at the moment because I'm still working out how to do everything, and designating is annoying and so on. But yeah, still
after a while the squares get boring because everything just kind of looks the same.
Is there any
you could even do like a deep roads kind of approach, which is kind of badass. Which is where you have like giant underground hallways.
I wonder if So this looks like the first layer of caves. There might actually be stuff above it, and it'll be hard to tell.
We can't. I think that's right, but because we haven't seen it for sure, because our dwarves haven't gone down there and peeked around yet, we don't know.
This layer is good because it's where the actual entrance is. Is there anything above here? Directly above? No. I might put some storage areas on this layer so that people can... Although that might interfere with my ability to, like... Wait, what's this flashing thing?
That's construction that you build.
Oh, so when a wall is going to build there.
A wall or a stair, anything like that, when you show up on designation, will be like that. Yeah. I'm not really sure why, but it does.
It would be good to have, like, huge storage areas around here so that people can haul things out of the caves.
I mean, that's perfectly sensible because it's right near your entrance to the caves. The one thing that I would do when designating that is make sure that it doesn't interfere with setting up a defense, because that's your weak point right there.
Yeah, so maybe not on this level, but up here.
I mean, you could set it on that level as long as you don't mess with that one hallway where you're going to be putting a shitload of traps. Then you can still set it on this layer. But later on, what I'd probably end up doing is, do you see how you dig the tunnel to the right and then down, and that creates kind of like a squarish shaped unmined area? Later on, what I would probably do is dig that out, carve fortifications into the walls facing toward that tunnel, and then basically turn that into a little security checkpoint with crossbow dwarves in there. And then if any monster comes in, it'll have to run up and to the left, and because carved fortifications will be there, dwarves will just be shooting crossbows.
Yeah, okay, so the plan then is this will be the security level, and one level up from here will be some big storerooms and things, and then one level up from there I will have workshops.
Sounds good. Remember to keep your workshops a little bit away from bedrooms, just because the noise bothers dwarves when they're sleeping.
Yeah, well, at the moment the bedrooms are up on the top level, so this should be fine for a while. And workshops are always 3x3, aren't they?
Except for siege workshops and animal kennels, which are a different thing.
Right. I might just...
But for the most part,
build out in a few directions here.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't, like, boring to watch. Like,
maybe for your viewers. I'm still trying to keep one step ahead of you.
Oh, look, it's kind of taken as granted, I think, that a Dwarf Fortress Let's Play is incredibly boring to watch. If someone watches it, they'll know what they're getting into.
Yeah. What am I thinking? Yeah, eventually all of the tunnels and stuff that you use to connect all of your main, like, thoroughfares and, like, material storage are going to want to have really wide corridors, because you're going to have a lot of foot traffic.
Does that apply to workshops?
They still are going to need, like, large storage areas, and you don't want
to storage and so on.
Yeah, and you don't want people, like, having to like crawl over each other to get to their workshops, and to move stuff and to move stuff from workshops to storage stockpiles and to other workshops. Think of it as just like how cramped you want your production floor.
Okay, let's see. How do I undesignate again?
X.
X, yes. Remove designation. Okay, that got done. What I'm thinking of is having some corridors that are like 3x3, and this will be the main stairwell here at some point.
That makes sense.
Having workshops come off that.
Yeah.
That's a cool kind of basic, not too hard to set up, but moderately cool shape. I could just be like this. Like that could be a place to have two workshops coming off the this passage. Although some of them will need to have specific. They don't have specific entrances, do they? They just have blocked sections.
Yeah, they have some places where you can't walk. I don't think there's any situation where, like, what you do will ever be blocked off. Like, I don't think there's ever a case where a whole side of it is just inaccessible.
Okay, cool. Okay, then for now, what I'll do is I'll have some workshops that are, like, coming off a big corridor up here.
Gotcha.
Don't know how many there are exactly. That's no good. This isn't too bad, this bit of the interface. It's one of the less awful bits.
You can even use your mouse later
What?
on. I don't know why you would want to, but yeah, if you press D for designate.
Okay, so that's where I'll put some workshops for now, and then one floor down I'm going to do a bunch of storage.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to keep digging out this to make a bigger stairwell. Is that safe? No, it's not, is it?
No, it's safe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it wouldn't
Remember,
like...
it won't collapse.
But there is empty space here.
No. Remember, you built a wall there, and even if there were
Building a
empty
wall,
space,
I haven't built it yet.
even if there were empty
There's no
space, the
channel.
only
Yeah, I see.
yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
the wall is
cool.
already built.
Is it already built,
but-
even though it's flashing?
Yeah. I mean, you can tell the staircase. It just means that was a construction. It's so later on when you want to, if you want to remove it, it'll stand out.
Okay, cool.
Because mining a staircase that you've built out of blocks won't work. It's a building. But the thing is think of each unmined area not just consisting of the wall that you're digging out, but also the floor tile. Digging it won't dig out the floor tile that your dwarf stands on. It'll just dig out the wall space. If you want to dig out below so that it can fall, you do H to build a channel. That digs out the floor and the wall level below it.
Okay. H to dig a channel digs out the floor and the wall level.
Yep.
Okay.
H removes floors. Dig does not. So you're basically safe. You can dig this, even if the Z level directly below us were a bottomless chasm, you'd be safe.
Cool. That's good. That is a nice safeguard to have.
Yeah.
This is going to be a grand hall of storage for a while.
That's good.
Just going to put a bunch of things here. I'm not sure what things. Well, I know they will include plants, because that's all I'm getting out of the mines at the moment. Yeah, I'll look at its shape later. Or maybe I won't look at it later, but now instead. God, it's hard to tame the urge to make everything like perfect shapes and look nice and stuff.
Oh, I know. That's one of the reasons why I do it kind of organically in irregular shapes, because like you can never make those squares all work, especially in like look at this fucking cave layer. So eventually it helps you develop a sense of feng shui that is not reliant on perfect squares.
Yes. Good. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to widen the passage down? I think I do. So I want to make this get dug out as well. And can I build a wall beyond the wall, or they would just not be able to get to it?
They can't get to it because you walled it off.
Damn. Okay. So that's my own bad.
What you might want to do is that door that we built in the cave layer is make it not animal passable.
Oh, I've done that already. I noticed that earlier.
Oh, you have? Okay, good, because, yeah. I mean, there's some animals that can destroy, like trolls, for example. But the ones that aren't will be stopped by that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you think the troll... Oh, it must have come from the caverns, I guess.
Yeah,
There's nowhere else to come from, really.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Well, what's this? It's a... Oh, it's John Boner. I guess he's just carrying
your
something.
herbalist. If you press I, you can see what he's carrying. I think it looks like a quarry bush, or maybe... Yeah, there we go.
Quarry bush? Oh, I see. Quarry bush leaf. Nice. It looks like a... Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a spice.
How could you even tell he's a dwarf? Just the fact that he's moving?
I saw it flashes between the thing he's carrying and him, and I saw a little blue streak, and then the quarry bush thing. I'm like, well, trolls don't carry quarry bushes.
Ah.
So, you know, maybe unless it's a really sneaky...
What's the strongest thing to make a wall out of?
And right now, because we're in alpha,
you can't break walls.
You can't break walls.
Right.
Everything is equally strong. I've seen ice survive molten magma.
Right.
I mean, if it's just a lump of ice, it'll be destroyed. But if it's a wall, it's fucking impenetrable. But we're going to learn about some really unfortunate pathing issues, I think, in a minute. I hope I'm wrong, but, you know, we'll find out.
Before we learn about unfortunate pathing issues, how do I destroy the wall I built earlier?
D for designate, and then N for remove constructions.
Right, remove constructions, where constructions are the special thing from the menu earlier.
Yeah.
N, I see. It seems designated, I think.
I think you didn't press enter twice. Remember, you have to designate an area.
Yep, fair enough. Cool. Brown for designated.
Yeah, there you go.
Excellent. And now I can build some more upstairs.
Right. And because you're destroying that, I think pathing will be okay. But just so you know, I'm gently but firmly grasping your shoulders.
Okay.
Every time you ever try to build something like that, and there's a possibility that the dwarf will get stuck on a side where he'll slowly starve to death or be immediately killed by like a monster or a wall of water or magma, they will always choose invariably the option that gets them killed.
Why?
And I don't know. Not invariably. I shouldn't say it like it's an actual thing, but to me it feels like a thing. I don't know what it is with their pathing, but basically what'll happen is they'll move onto the tile where the construction is to be built, and then they'll arbitrarily pick a direction to move off of the tile in order for it to be built. And sometimes they'll move to the direction where they can just go back to being a dwarf and doing their jobs. And
but only sometimes.
And other times they'll pick to move to the other side of the wall that you just built to keep out the Shoggoth.
And most often that is what they will do.
I don't know why, but yes.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
And these stairs are funky colors because we're building them out of the blue stone we found a Z layer above, and I think Ortho clays.
Yeah, I started with slate because the slate ones look normal, but I ran out of slate halfway through.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, you get used to being like, I don't want to build out this blue stuff. Although you can sell it for trade goods. Speaking of which, let's tap A for announcements.
Okay. A. Can I just? I'll just put these up down stairs on this layer before I forget about them. X.
We want to see if the merchants have showed up yet.
X. Can I designate a whole area of stairs or something? That would be much more convenient.
Yeah, with the designate menu, it's just tough because you can't build upstairs or you can't dig upstairs in areas that you've already dug out. You can only dig downstairs because the wall is gone.
Yeah, so I mean, but I wanted to like have a square full of up downstairs for some reason.
Yeah, you can designate that. Remember, because you're designating it just like you would mine. So you just make a 3x3 of it.
I didn't seem to have that option when I was.
You can. For example, if you just right now press D.
Yeah.
And press I for up downstairs.
Oh, I see. It's a separate. It's here as well as in the building menu. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Noted. Okay, so announcements.
Buildings are always done one tile at a time, which can make it really frustrating when you're trying to build like a gigantic outdoor coliseum.
Yes.
You know, but you get used to it. Okay, I don't think. Yeah, the merchants haven't arrived yet, which is good.
But the Rose Quartz has.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Steven Universe, whatever.
Also just in the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you learn a lot of gemstones from this game.
Whoa, something's happening now. Are these the fabled merchants? A caravan from Cadel Rubar.
Yep, and it looks like they brought wagons, so we done good.